Hey baseball fans, how's it going? Hayden here. And due to the MLB winter meetings coming to an end, in this video I will be going over some free agents that personally I would like the New York Mets to sign, as well as two trades that I've seen from online. So let's dive right in. So the first player on today's list that I would like to see sign with the New York Mets is James McCann. I think just to go off of his history, McCann has spent 5 adequate seasons with the Detroit Tigers, who then cut him off after the 28th season. He then ended up with the Chicago White Sox and broke out, hitting .276 for a batting average, .334 on-base percentage, and .474 in slugging in just the past 2 years. Although James McCann is not quite as good as JT Realmuto, I would like to say it is a cheaper and safer option. Let's say the New York Mets offer James McCann a 4-year, $4 million contract that, in both parties, we find good. The problem with that is that Realmuto, who is age 30, and from what we've seen with past catchers such as Gary Carter or Buster Posey or many other catchers around the leagues, is that they start to decline really once they hit age 30. So if McCann were to fall off his contract 4 years, it would be much easier to get out of it rather than Realmuto, because James McCann, it would be so much easier due to the lower average annual contract, unlike Realmuto, who does in fact want a large contract, probably somewhere around $100 million for 5-6 years. So I think if you look at Yasmani Grandal and his stats, I just don't think it's so much worth it to acquire Realmuto. I'd rather go basic, James McCann, simple as that. And also, I think just looking at McCann the last couple of years, he's been increasing, and his framing at the plate is looking much better, said by Jeremy Hefner, the pitching coach. James McCann would do great as the Mets catcher, catching to Cy Young, DeGrom, Thor, Peterson, Stroman, Lugo, Diaz. That would be an A+ in my book if you ask me. So let's all hope in the next couple days the New York Mets do offer James McCann a deal. Let's all hope that happens and he accepts it. Next up on the list, I think the New York Mets should sign Liam Hendricks, the man from Australia himself, who is one of the best relievers in the league. In the full season of 2019, Hendricks had 25 saves, 124 strikeouts, and a 1.80 ERA. Hendricks' numbers are great. He has a nasty fastball as well as a nasty slider. Hendricks backing up Diaz, Lugo, and now Trevor May. That would be something, all right. And I think it would be much beneficial for a lot of the Mets pitchers, such as Edwin Diaz, because I think it would have a lot less pressure on pitchers like Diaz, who know that they won't have to start every, 9th or 8th inning. So I think that'd be great for them. It is also important because the Mets bullpen is going to be a priority going forward, as I think we look at a lot of managers are starting to treat starting pitchers more like chess pieces, and they're more looking to them as more resortful, I think, bullpen pitchers. So I think the Mets bullpen, as we saw in 2019, everything else was good but that bullpen. So I think if we lock down the bullpen, that is going to be a scary, scary bullpen. So third up on today's list, I have the Mets hoping to sign Trevor Bauer. I don't even really think I need to explain myself on this one. 2020 NL Cy Young, had an electric year. Plus, Trevor Bauer would be most electric in New York. Bauer also has praised New York Mets owner Steve Cohen on social media, and I think punching DeGrom and Bauer would bring a 2-phenomenon 1-2 punch for the Mets. My only concern with Trevor Bauer, honestly, really just has to be how he wants to do 1-year deals, which personally I think that's very foolish. But if the Mets can get the 30-year-old pitcher for a couple years, I think that'd be great. I personally hope the Mets can sign him. He is one of, personally, if not the biggest free agent out there. And I think the Mets starting pitching, I think if they get him, honestly, I say they're set. You'd have DeGrom in the first spot. You could probably throw Bauer in the second. Maybe when Noah Syndergaard comes back from Tommy John, he could be third. Fourth, he got Stroman. Fifth, he got Peterson. That is going to be a nasty, nasty lineup. And I think from what we've seen this past year, with all the pitching injuries, I think it is urgent. And to finalize our talk for today, I think it is most fair to talk about trades. Yes, I do know the Mets said they are not interested in doing much trades this offseason and would like to focus more on free agents, but I figured why not? These two were published by SNY, which this one is acquiring Josh Hader and giving up J.D. Davis and right-handing pitcher Corey Oswalt. Hader has been rumored to be available for the last 2 years, and he is a dominant lights-out pitcher, getting both lefties and righties out. Putting Hader in the bullpen would most likely throw Lugo in the rotation. Yet, I don't think the Brewers will accept because I don't think the Brewers will be getting enough. But hey, maybe if you throw a top prospect in there, maybe it'll go away. We'll just have to see. Another trade rumor I also saw, which I disagree with in a highly manner, is receiving Sonny Gray and giving up Andres Jimenez and right-handed pitcher Drew Smith. And this is the most foolish trade I've seen. While giving up Hot Jimenez for Sonny Gray, who, as we saw play in New York for the Yankees, did terrible, Gray just isn't really worth even having. I mean, I don't really think he will help the rotation in any ways, and Gray is definitely not worth giving up Jimenez. So I don't really have much to say about this trade, but I'm definitely not for this trade. Overall, the Mets will be in the lead for the free agent market this offseason. I hope the Mets can obtain Trevor Bauer, James McCann, and Liam Hendricks. Those are my hopeful predictions, and please feel free to let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who would you get? What would you change? And please feel free to give this video a like. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, peace.